This is what I wanted to cover in the Zoom lab today at 10 o'clock. Just want to make sure that everybody kind of has an orientation to Canvas. This is new for all of us. And so, just I'm here as a resource, but I'm also learning at the same time. So I'll try to do my best. I did take a crash course on Canvas so that I can help you all. So this is what you should be able to see directly when you log into the course for Canvas, on Canvas. You should be able to see that you can schedule office hours with me. This is linked to my Google Calendar. Right now, I only have a couple of sections available. I'm working on updating that. This is my Gmail, so let me sign out just so you can see. Okay, so I'm working on updating my availability in my calendar so that you can schedule based on your calendar and what overlaps with mine. Most people have already taken this survey, and I really appreciate it. It was very helpful for me to think through, what you already know and how to access and what you need. Also, if you haven't already watched, I do have a welcome video that kind of gives you some background on myself and the class. So this is the textbook. I have already uploaded and sent you all kind of a tutorial on how to access the textbook on Cengage. You need to have access to MindTap in order to go through this course because all of these activities are connected to MindTap. Like I said before, this is a self-paced class and asynchronous, so you could easily go through, it's still a lot of work, but you could go through all of these chapters on your own time. You don't have to necessarily stay with the syllabus schedule, but the syllabus schedule does kind of help you just break it down week by week so that you can complete all of the content. So I know that these are the titles of the actual chapters from the textbook, and then I will periodically add maybe another reading or a video. Usually it will be a video. I'm going to try not to add too much extra stuff because the course is you already have like a lot of, for each one of these chapters, you have to read, you have to take a quiz and then do a reflection and this kinds of thing. So I don't want to like add too much, but I will be adding one or two to replace these guest lecture Zoom labs that I had originally prepared. I'll end up posting videos for these times. I think I will keep some of these interviews with the guest speakers and just upload them as videos for you to watch and then submit reflections to, rather than you having to join at a certain day and time. Someone asked me a question about, they said that these were just kind of general topics and they still weren't quite sure what this course was about. So just to give you all a kind of understanding of sociology is really, and this is an intro to sociology course, so this is all about trying to understand how society works on a larger scale, understand behavioral patterns using data, quantitative data like surveys, and also qualitative data like interviews, focus groups, and observations to understand larger patterns and systems. So I know that's kind of like a abstract way to describe it, but every aspect of sociology looks at. So if for example, if we want to look at the family, there are different types of families. Families, you have single parent homes, you have married and divorced, and step parents and you have grandparents living in the home and extended families and kind of different family structures. You have same-sex families and all of these things, right? Polyamorous families. And so sociology is the process of trying to understand, yes, on the individual level, how are the dynamics, that kind of play into that family structure. What are the gender norms? How do people challenge or conform to those gender norms? And how does that affect the family dynamic? How does the economic system that we're living in, whether it's a capitalist system or a socialist system, how does that impact the dynamics of the family and their ability to move up in society and increase their economic standing? How does education and like the things that we're taught and access to resources impact child well-being and health outcomes and those kinds of things? So those are kind of the questions that sociology explores, and so each one of these chapters is going to kind of give you a broad overview of the terminology and the current data and the current understanding of how those processes work based on previous theorists and previous research. So, and then with the textbook will then give you that baseline, and then I'm going to help you kind of think critically about those things through the lectures and through the guest lectures. And so I hope that helps you a little bit. So each one of those topics, we're going to just dive a little bit deeper into all the different aspects of how those how that affects us in society, and how what patterns that exist, and how can we use data to better understand those patterns, right? And so course objectives, I think I kind of gave you an overview based on that. We're just defining and applying sociological concepts and theories. We're using research and methods to produce knowledge about the social world. We're drawing connections between macro, like a family, and micro, like, interpersonal dynamics between the mother and father, or the mother and mother, or father and father, and father and child, etc. And then working collaboratively. So there won't be a lot of collaboration in this because it's asynchronous, but I do want to encourage you all to have open dialogue with me and with others. So I will also be starting a Twitter chat, Twitter hashtag. That's kind of also part of your participation grade. So if you're not on Twitter, I encourage you to join Twitter. Or you can create just a separate non-personal Twitter, which I think is totally fine. For you to be able to participate in conversation. And so I will send you some more information about that a little bit later. Okay, so the textbook, like we said, is Intro to Sociology, 6th edition. If you have another edition, I can't guarantee that the chapters will sync up or that it has the same information in there. Usually the difference between the 5th and 6th edition is not that huge, but you may need to just kind of coordinate with another student who has a 6th edition to make sure that you have the appropriate readings. Okay, so like I said, there's going to be, each one of these is a completion, right? So you have to read the chapter. You have to take a quiz to show that you understand it. And those quizzes are usually only they're short. They're not super long. And then explore, there's activities in each chapter. And then a create is usually recording a video. So in MindTap, you have the ability to record videos in Canvas and also in MindTap. I think it would be easier to record the video in MindTap because the Canvas has a limit, like a storage limit, and MindTap you can just record it and then submit it directly to the assignment, and then it's linked to your Canvas, And so then I can access it and grade it. So I'm going to change this about the excused absences and stuff, since I am switching to totally asynchronous now. And so it will be you watching a recorded video and then and participating in Twitter chat. So that will kind of count as your quote unquote attendance and participation grades. And so I'm going to record videos. I need you to watch them and then provide like a paragraph reflection on it and connecting it to the reading. And then participation will also include, obviously completing all your assignments, but also, participating in the Twitter chat. Okay, so extra credit, I will also be I do a lot of guest lectures, public speaking, panel discussions for my full-time job. I'm the associate director of this program called Integrating Special Populations at Wake Forest Baptist Health. And so we do a lot of like community conversations. We're hosting podcasts and we're doing panel discussions and kind of featuring things that are happening in the community. And then I also do a lot of community engagement. So if you want to do extra credit or are just interested in those things, I will be inviting you all to those things and allowing you to kind of also write a 1-page essay. I don't want it to be, just 1 page. Like, it doesn't need to be super long. That, describes the event, what we talked about, and then connecting it back to the textbook and the themes that we have covered thus far in the course. Okay. I will be dropping the lowest quiz score. So if you missed something or you forgot to take the quiz or you just didn't have time, I'll drop one of those. Okay, late work. Also, I'm going to kind of eliminate that since this is totally asynchronous. There is no such thing as quote unquote late work. However, I would not encourage anyone to wait until the end of the semester to try to complete all of this. Like, it just is impossible. And so, just keep up with it. You all are adults. And, this is about honesty and integrity. I am able to tell when people are, not using the material from their own minds and copying from others. I have caught students before that I'm not out to get students. And so my goal is for you to understand the process of citing work and really kind of reflecting on your personal experiences and how that plays into sociology and this course and the course material. So, this is all about academic integrity and honesty. I do have some means to determine whether someone has not been honest and had integrity. So please don't try it. So there's that. So also we will be covering some kind of controversial topics potentially, especially, the current climate right now is tense for all of us, for the pandemic as well as for politically. And so there will be some, conversations that maybe you all don't agree with that I may record, or things in the textbook that, you may not agree with. And so we just ask to keep an open mind and we'll work together to find, some common understanding and using critical thinking to analyze. This is not about challenging one person or proving someone right or wrong. This is about using analysis and data to, to better understand and critically evaluate society. Okay, please keep up with checking your email. I'm trying to be responsive. Y'all are pretty good about emailing, so I'm very happy about that. I will try as much as possible to be responsive to you. And please also do not call me by my first name. I am Dr. Matthews or Professor Matthews. Those are the appropriate ways to refer to me in email and or over Zoom. I will try to be as respectful and open and warm and kind of and helping you throughout this process. I will try to respond to you within 24 hours. Usually will respond within a couple of minutes, but I can't always promise that because I am handling and juggling a lot of projects. Let's see. And if you have something or questions or help or you need anything, feel free to sign up for an office hour slot. These are not mandatory, but it does help you kind of get just some quicker clarification than maybe what could happen over email. Okay. Midterm will be multiple choice and short answer. The final presentation, this is like a PowerPoint or a video. I'm asking you to interview an expert or someone in the community. You can provide a summary of the main findings, or you can even record that interview and include it in the presentation. I want you to choose a topic that's of interest to you. You obviously, like on the syllabus, there's so many topics that you could cover. So, just choose one and be creative. I am a very creative person. I love music. I love poetry. I love art. I love and so I would like to see those things reflected in your presentations. Be creative, be open, connected to what's happening in the world. This should be a fun course for you all, and so make the presentation fun as well. Okay? And I will obviously, be here to answer questions and help you through those things and give you feedback along the way. So this is something that is kind of integrated into the course. So by the end of the semester, you'll have something ready already rather than waiting until the last minute. Okay, so it's due December 12th, which is my grandmother's birthday. She passed away about 10 years ago, but I just always celebrate her birthday, and so I will be excited to see your presentations on her birthday. Okay. Let me know if you have any other questions. I think the rest of this is kind of self-explanatory. Like I said, if you want to go ahead, feel free to, but I will be recording videos and kind of my own reflection and kind of connection to the material and uploading them. I will try to upload them on Monday or Tuesday of every week. So even if you go ahead of the class, I'm going to be following the schedule to, upload the lectures to help you connect it to the real world and what's happening today. And so make sure you watch those. Midterm is September 28th. It'll be during that week. It'll be during that week. So you should have a couple of days during that week to complete it. You just need to have it completed by October 2nd. Okay? So it's not going to be on a specific day and time, but it will be available during that week for you to complete. And last thing, so you can kind of see here the final presentation topic and who you're going to interview and what the outline of your presentation that's due a month ahead of time on November 12th, and so that I can give you feedback and help you think through. So this is probably where you're going to want to utilize the Zoom office hours as well. And let's see here. And then I will assign you. So like one student, I'll assign students to peer review the final presentation so you can get some feedback before final submission. And then last opportunity for feedback. And then the final presentation is due December 12th. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Looking forward to having you all this semester. All right. Bye.